If you're thinking about moving to the Gulf Coast, but you're wondering if there's activities for families, retirees, or young professionals, then you've come to the right place. We're going to talk about all there is to offer around Gulf Shores and Orange Beach right now.
Let's start with some of my favorites, like those water parks, amusement parks, and beaches. We have to talk about kid-friendly attractions to check out because a lot of you have kids just like us. We've got a high schooler and another one's in elementary school. And if your kids are anything like ours and they love going and doing these kinds of things like wave pools and water slides, and there has to be a lazy river for me, of course, but this one will be going down the slides or playing basketball in the water with the kids. You can also head straight to the beach where you can spend your entire day relaxing, tanning, floating, and taking in all of those amazing views. You've got plenty of beautiful beaches to choose with those 32 miles of Alabama Gulf coastline. So just pack a cooler, bring your snacks, portable speaker, and don't forget your sunscreen.
In the off season, it may not be bathing suit weather to most, but I'm used to polar plunges when it's below freezing out, so taking advantage of this in the winter is a no-brainer. Not to mention, the water here in the winter is still around 60 to 70 degrees.
And if you're not totally nuts like Tony, then you can just go to the beach during normal summer months, and when it's cooler, you can go shelling, build sandcastles, or just relax and take walks along the beachfront. Our kids love to get a bag and collect seashells so that they can build us something. It's usually a hot mess that involves a lot of glue and a soggy piece of paper, but it comes from the heart, and they display it proudly right in our kitchen for everyone to admire. The joys of having kids. I literally can't throw anything away, especially if it's something they make me, so I know I'm not the only one out there. Has your kid ever brought you like a dandelion they picked and you secretly want to like throw it out when they're not looking, but you know you can't because it's so sweet, and like in 5 minutes they're like, where's that dandelion? Or the next day, what did you do with that dandelion you picked me?
No, I'll throw it right away. But speaking of sandcastles, the Sandcastle University in Gulf Shores provides expert level tips and tricks for social media worthy pictures. So if you're a little younger and you want to get those Insta worthy pics, then this is a great way to enjoy the beach together with your fam and get those Instagram pictures.
And there are classes available for everyone from toddlers to adults. I'll make sure I throw the website link in our description just because it's something really cool to do and learn. Now, if you're like Tony, you'll like to visit the Hangout.
Hell yes!
You have to take a trip down to the iconic Hangout where you can enjoy live music and concerts. You can also grab a bite to eat, have a drink or two, have some fun playing free games with your children or friends in the courtyard. How else can you beat that?
All right, back to more activities. Alabama Gulf Coast Zoo is a good place to visit. There's lots of animal habitats to see big cats, monkeys, kangaroos,
sloths,
and so much more. They have over 500 animals, including endangered, vulnerable, or threatened species too. Ask me how I know.
How do you know?
Because last time we went there, we were lucky enough to have one of the zookeepers let us hang out with the kangaroos, and it was so awesome. We got to like feed the babies and pet them, and it was just like so much fun.
While Jess was rescuing those kangaroos, I was biking around Gulf Shores and Orange Beach, and I've recently taken bike rides along the beachfront and throughout the downtown Gulf Shores area. And if you don't bring your own bike or bikes or have bikes, then you can rent them from like all these shops that they have around town. One of my favorite areas to cycle is the Hugh S. Branding Backcountry Trail System inside Gulf State Park, who offers a rideshare program using the Bloom.
It's the Bloom Bike Share app. Yeah. This is Alabama's longest linear park, and it spans more than 30 miles. You can bike for 1 mile like me and call it a day, or go at it all day long. I guess it all just depends on how serious of a biker you are. I'm definitely more of a leisurely rider. I've got my cruiser with my basket that holds my snacks, and I just go slow. But Tony has a full-blown mountain bike, and he's out there sweating and getting it. And he actually bought me a mountain bike too, and he's trying to get me out there with him. I think he wants me to have a heart attack.
I just need my riding buddy out there sweating with me.
I'm not a big sweater. I like to stay cool.
Yeah, whatever. There are also other trails available in the area, including Gulf State Park trails, Bon Secours National Wildlife Refuge, and Fort Morgan trails, like their historic site and the Fort Gaines Lighthouse. I can only bike or hike there for a little bit before I want to go and take the kids fishing.
Yeah, fishing. Here we go. So on the topic of fishing, this is another way to spend some time in the water. You can fish from any of the public jetties or docks. A popular location is the Gulf State Park Fishing Pier, which offers their popular angler academy to teach new saltwater anglers how to fish.
Another option is to charter a deep sea fishing boat for offshore fishing, and a state fishing license is required for those who are 16 years of age or older, and resident seniors can fish for free, and disabled veterans can get up to 20% discount.
If you get tired of fishing or maybe it's not your thing, then you'll be happy to know the WARF is the place to go for the beach boardwalk experience. This entertainment complex in Orange Beach has unique shops and specialty stores, fantastic local restaurants, attractions, and live entertainment. They have some really fun bars too, like the SANDSHAKER, and they actually have open mic night, which we just went to, and it was so much fun. On a rainy day, you can check out the movie theater, the escape room, or play arcade games, and at night you will enjoy the laser show. So there's definitely no shortage and fun things to do in this area.
Personally, I like to ride the Ferris wheel at the WARF. You just hop on and enjoy a relaxing ride as you take in sights of Orange Beach from above. This Ferris wheel is one of the largest in the Southeast, so you have to check it out. I actually proposed to Jess on a Ferris wheel about 12 years ago, and we love reliving that moment here at the WARF.
Yes, we do. But hey, I thought your favorite thing to do was stand-up paddleboarding. You have to talk about that too.
Okay, so supboarding is fun, but it's easily the most tiring activity out there. It's great for all fitness levels and ages. If I can get my big butt up there, I'm pretty sure you can too, but it's definitely a full body workout.
It's fun and easy to get started. We're beginners and find that the inland waters are easier and the Gulf waters are for the pros for sure. My first time doing stand-up paddle was recently, and I'm pregnant. I had no problem standing up and balancing, and I loved it. But oh my gosh, what a workout. After an hour of steady paddling, I was totally spent. Luckily, you can sit in the paddleboard too, and it was very relaxing. I know we're mentioning a lot right now, so stay with us because I'm sure you'll find something you like to do by the end of this video, and make sure you hit that like button so more people can see what we're talking about.
I feel like we've gone too long without talking about food, so let's talk about a staple here in Lower Alabama, and it's the oysters. You have to tour a boutique oyster farm, taking a walking tour of the Navy Cove oysters east of Fort Morgan, and learn about this favorite local food because it's really interesting to see how oysters are grown and cultivated. After the tour, you can head right across the street to the Sassy Bass Amazing Grill Market for really good food, including the farm's oysters, or head over to LULU'S, which is another local staple.
Yes, don't sleep on this family-friendly eatery that specializes in coastal Alabama cuisine. They have an extensive menu and the food is absolutely delicious. You can even see the Gulf while you dine. It does not get any better than that. Nope. They have great live entertainment and arcade games and an outdoor ropes course that our kids have always loved.
I always buy their seasonings at their little store before we leave too, so I can try to make food as good as they do, but it never happens to be just quite as good as it is there.
You're starting to make me really hungry, so let's move on to the hot shop at Coastal Arts Center of Orange Beach.
Okay, before you dive in, the Coastal Arts Center of Orange Beach is an art gallery where you can find local artists displaying their masterpieces, and they're for sale too, which, I don't know, I always thought that was pretty cool.
Or you can take an art class. Like I was saying, the center also houses a hot shop where you can create beautiful glass blown art, or you can check out the clay studio. And if you absolutely love what you see, then you'll be happy to hear that this is actually a wedding venue as well.
Now, I'll be honest, I like going there every once in a while, but I'm a big kid, so I enjoy the track a lot more. The track is a massive entertainment center that offers the biggest arcades in the area. There's also mini golf and golf carts and bumper boats and just kiddie rides and the legendary sky coasters there. I've been wanting to do this with somebody, so if you're down, let me know in the comments.
No, don't, because I'd like to have my husband alive, please. Tony's really a big kid at heart, and that means we play a lot of miniature golf. It's not just when we're on vacation. If we drive past Putt-Putt, he's slamming on the brakes and we're pulling in. There are a number of locations to play Putt-Putt around here. Some of our favorites, just off the top of my head, are going to be the track that Tony was just talking about, and then Pirates Island Adventure Golf. If you want to see what the course looks like, along with some really other cool spots, watch this video that's popping up on the screen.
And another thing to experience is the popular dolphin cruises. You need to do this at least once in your lifetime. You can catch a glimpse of these beautiful animals or mammals. They're mammals, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're mammals. You can correct me if you want, but going to an afternoon cruise to watch the dolphins are always popular with our friends and family.
The dolphins are breathtaking, and you'll see lots of other wildlife, not to mention the sunsets. It's definitely a must-see. But now that we're about to have a little one, and you might have babies or small children, you might be thinking, what can I do with the littles? And I'd have to say you just need to visit all the playgrounds around town, and you'll find play areas at each beach location, including Fort Morgan's public beaches and Gulf Shores public beaches parks. The Gulf Shore City Park is another great spot to bring your kids to. This park is home to several murals that are depicting like local history and life along the Alabama Gulf Coast. It's just super cool.
And speaking of local history along the Alabama Gulf Coast, we have to mention the annual festivals that celebrate Alabama's Gulf Coast lifestyle. One of our favorites is actually coming up, and it's the annual Shrimp Festival.
I thought you were gonna say Mardi Gras or the annual Seafood Festival on Labor Day.
Well, those are coming up too.
Tony never lets us miss any of these events.
And if you're watching, you shouldn't miss these either. Most of these festivals have food for you to enjoy all day long, live music or entertainment. And who doesn't want to be entertained? I know when I mentioned the Hangout earlier, but the Hangout Festival is a must if you enjoy live music festivals.
Tony is a super active person. If you haven't noticed, he drags us to all these places where I like things that are a little more peaceful, like kayaking. I just want to rent a kayak and explore the bays around Orange Beach, and he's the one that's taking us into like these different levels, and he's like, let's shoot over to the Gulf beaches. There's so much more to see, and the actual Gulf, and the next thing you know, I'm just like praying that we make it back to Gulf State Pier.
And speaking of, next on my list is gonna be parasailing. There's just something about being able to go into the sky and enjoy the views from up there, but if that's not your jam, there's really no limit to the variety of water sports you can really enjoy in the area.
Again, you can do that alone. Heights, no thank you. I'll be down below on the safe sandy beaches watching the sunset at Gulf State Park, which is one of the best ways to end your day. Just watching the sun go down over the water there, or head over to Gulf State Park's Eastern Beach and find a nice spot on Fort Morgan Peninsula where you can enjoy views of Fort Morgan in the distance. Now, I wouldn't be opposed to a sunset catamaran cruise either, so keep that in mind, Tony. All right, we hope y'all liked our list, and remember, if y'all are moving to the area, make sure you give us a call to help you with your real estate needs.
And until next time, we'll see you guys later.
Bye.